Hi all. Today let's see how we can ship our Angular application using Docker. Docker is an open source platform which provides an easy way to develop and ship our code. It enables us to execute our code in isolated environments called containers. These containers will contain the minimum requirement or the environment which is required to execute our code. For example, for running or for building an Angular application, we need the Node.js environment. So we can include that within a Docker container, and it can be used for building the application, and maybe we can use Nginx or something like that to run the Angular application. So all these software which is needed to build and run our application, this can be included within the Docker container. So this enables that the host environment in which the application needs to be run need not worry about all the software requirements. These will be handled by the Docker container itself. So let's get started. First, we need to install Docker in our desktop. So here, since I am using a Windows machine, we need to install the Docker desktop that is suited for the Windows operating system. And once it is installed, you need to start the Docker. So Docker mainly consists of two parts. One is the client and other is the server. So basically you can execute commands which will be run in your client and it will be communicating with the server and executing this. There are two major components within the Docker environment. One is the image and other is the container. A Docker image can be considered as a read-only template which will serve as a base for any Docker container. So it is not possible to make any changes to a Docker image. So the advantage of this is that multiple users can download these images and add multiple layers on top of these images to create their own version of the Docker container. So they won't be accidentally overwriting or making any changes to the images as these are read-only. The Docker images are available in locations called Docker container registries. In case you need to check for a Docker image like maybe Ubuntu, you can use the Docker search command. So it will be listing a group of the versions of Ubuntu that is available and whether it is official and all those kind of things. So this basically the search is happening in a remote registry. We can create our own images locally as well. So in order to list the images that exist on our machine, you can use the Docker images command. So here you can see as of now there is no image present. Another important component in the Docker is the Docker container. So Docker containers are basically built on top of the Docker images. So in order to see what all containers are currently running in our machine, we can use the Docker ps command. So here you can see there are no Docker containers running as of now. And in order to list all the Docker containers, including stopped ones, you can use the Docker ps-a command. So now let's get started. We have an Angular 13 application. So it consists of two parts, like the Angular part, which is the front end, and we have a server that is built using Nest.js. Now first let us create a Docker image for our Angular application. So for doing that, we can make use of the Docker file. So first I am going to create a Docker file which can be used for building an image. So one more file I'll be creating is the .dockerignore. So this is similar to our gitignore where we can add files which need not be transferred to the Docker image from the local. So we will take a look into that soon. So inside our Docker file, we can provide multiple commands which can be used for adding layers. So first we need to start from a base image. So for starting from the base image, we can use the command from. Since we need Node.js to build our Angular application, we can start from the node image. I have given the node image version 16.13. So this is the name of the image and this is the tag which will be representing some kind of version. And here I am using the Alpine version, which is a lightweight version. So I am also giving an alias name as builder, which we will be using at a later part. So next step, what I am doing is I am copying all the files from the current folder. So here you can see that the current folder is within the Angular folder. So I am planning to copy all these local files into a path called /app within our Docker image. So the copy command basically can be used for copying files from the local system to the Docker file system. Also, it can be used for copying within the Docker file system itself. So since you can see that actually here in our current folder, we have node modules and multiple files which actually we do not need to move to our Docker image. So for ignoring these files, we can create the Docker ignore file and add all these files to this ignore file. So here what I am doing is I am basically copying the git ignore and I am pasting it here so that the unwanted files are not copied over to the Docker image. So once we have set the Docker ignore file, now as a next step, we are setting the current working directory as /app. So what this command does is like basically before executing each command, it will be doing a change directory to this particular folder. So it is similar to the cd command which we are familiar in Linux or Windows. So once we have set the work directory, next what we are going to do is we are going to run the npm install. So run is a command which can be used for executing multiple commands. You can see any command on top of the current image as a new layer and commit the results. So what happens is that whatever command we execute here, it won't be modifying the existing image. Like each line of this Docker file, it will be creating a new layer on top of the image. So basically it will be creating an image for each step and the next step will be adding a layer on top of the image which was created in the previous step. So now we have done the npm install. The next step is we will be doing a npm run build. So basically we are building our Angular 13 application. Once we have done that, the next step is basically we need to host our application. So for that we are using Nginx and here again we are starting from a new image for Nginx and we have given the tag here. So after that Nginx by default starts up on the port 80. So here I am using the expose keyword. So expose is actually like a contract which mentions that the Docker container will be listening on this particular port and it actually does not publish this port. For publishing, we need to do an explicit command in our CLI. So this is just a contract to inform the user that the container will be listening on the port 80. So after that, what we are doing is we are using the copy command and we are copying the results of the build. So when we build our Angular application, it will be creating a dist folder and inside that it will be creating a folder with our application name. So we are copying the content of that folder and putting it in within the Nginx HTML folder so that it can be served. And here you can see this syntax that is from builder. So here what we are doing is we are referring to the previous stage. So the places where we use the image, these can be considered as stages within our Docker file. So we are referring to the stage in which we build our Angular application as a builder and we are referring that within our copy. So here we are mentioning that we need to copy the content from the previous stage that is present within this folder to this particular destination. So once we use this particular format, what happens is that the final image that is created, it will not contain the entire payload. Like here, once you do an npm install and all, it will be creating the node modules and it will be of huge size. But once we create multiple stages within our Docker file, what happens is that the final image will contain only this much size of files. It helps us in reducing the image size. Once we have created this, now let's build our image using from this particular Docker file. So we can go to the Angular folder, build the image from the Docker file. So you can give the name of the image. So I am giving the organization name / the name I am giving it as Angular, and here I can give the version. So that will be the tag. I am naming it as 1.0.0, and here I am giving the location of the Docker file. So since it is in the current directory, I am giving it as a dot. So now our image is getting built. So all our npm install and build, everything is done. So in order to check whether our image has been created, we can execute the docker images command, and you can see here that our image is getting listed here along with the tag, and this is the image ID, which is like a unique identifier. Let us create a container from our image and execute it. So for that, we can use the docker run command, and here I am giving the --rm option so that the container will be cleared out, like it will be deleted automatically once it stops running. Otherwise, it will be creating containers within our queue, and in case we need that in the future, we can give some name like --name and give the name. But here I am not persisting the containers, so I am using the --rm. Then I am giving -ti so that it will be run in an interactive mode with the terminal. After that, we need to give the port. The Nginx will be running on port 80 within the container. So we need to map that to a particular port in our host machine. So I am giving the 4200 as the host port, and I am giving the container port as 80. So in case I didn't give this, so first let us try running the application without giving the port. So I am giving JS Angular, that is the image name, along with the version. Now, once I start running, if I go and check the 80, that's a port 80 where we are running the Nginx, you can see that actually there won't be any site there. So now we can go ahead and add the explicit port opening. This is a port forwarding actually. So here I am giving like the port number 4200 in the host to the port 80 in our container. So now if we go and give port 4200, you can see that our Angular application is up and running. Since our backend is not running, our API calls will be failing. So now let's add a unit testing step within our Docker file so that we can ensure that the unit tests are passing before we continue with the build. So for executing the unit test within the Docker, first we need to make some changes within our Karma configuration file. So one thing is that I have added Puppeteer as a dependency, as a dev dependency. So Puppeteer can be used for executing our unit test, and as a dependency, we need to install Chromium as well inside our Docker file. So first, let us add a step, that is process environment Chrome bin. So here I am setting the path of our Chrome executable. So after that, we need to change the auto watch as false and set the single run as true. So we can add a custom launcher. So here I have added the custom launcher and named it as Chrome Headless CI, which will be making use of the Chrome Headless with the flag no sandbox. So in case you did not give this, our unit test will be failing within our Docker. So what we are doing is I am giving the custom launcher name as the browser so that it will be executed with the required flags. So once we make these changes within our karma config file, we can go to the Docker file and we can add steps to install Chromium in our Docker image. So I have added the step to install Chromium in our Docker image, and also I am setting that informing Puppeteer to skip the download for Chromium. So when we do an npm install, Puppeteer automatically tries to download the Chromium. We are saying that we already have installed a Chromium and Puppeteer need not download the Chromium. And also we are providing the executable path of our Chromium browser. So for setting the environment variables, we have a keyword called env. We are making use of that. Now we can add a step to run our test. So here I am adding a step to run our test before we actually build the image. Our container is running. So in order to see whether our container is running, we can use the command docker ps. So here you can see that a particular container is running and along with the command which is getting executed, that is the nginx. So I am going to stop this. So since I am using the rm flag, once I stop this container, it won't be available. Like even if you use the -a, it won't be existing. So now let's build our image one more time. So here I am incrementing the version. So now you can see that the Chromium has been downloaded and now it is currently executing our test cases. So all our test cases have been successfully executed. Now it will proceed with the build stage and it will create the image. Now let's see how we can add the linting step also within our Docker file. So in the Angular 13 application, I have added ESLint by making use of the schematics. So I have created a separate video describing this process. If you have not seen that, please watch. Now once the ESLint is integrated into our Angular application, we just need to add the run command for our lint as well. So here we can add npm run lint. That's all. Now once we build our image, it will be executing the linter as well. So here we have already created two images. So in case you need to remove these Docker images, you can make use of the docker rmi command and you can delete them either using a combination of the version and the tag, or you can directly provide the image ID. So here I am using both the options, and now if you see, both the images have been removed. Now let's execute the Docker file once more to build our new image, which includes the linting step. So now you can see that our linter is running and it has been successfully completed. Now let's create a Docker image for our backend service as well. So here I am using Nest.js. So I have created a Docker ignore file as well as a Docker file within my server folder. And the Docker ignore is similar. I have copied over the git ignore, and the Docker file we will go through step by step. So it starts similar to our Angular application. So first we are making use of the Node 16.13 Alpine version, and we need this in order to build our backend Nest.js as well. So after that we are setting the current working directory as /app. So before executing each of these commands, it will be setting the directory to /app. So once we do that, we are copying over the local files to the /app folder, and after that we do a npm install and npm build. So once our backend application is completely built, again here I am adding a second stage so that the size of our application will be, or the size of our image will be reduced. So here again I am copying over the content of /app to the current directory, that is from the previous step which I have mentioned here. And after that I am saying that this container will be listening to the port 3000, since we have mentioned this port within our Nest.js application. I am saying that it will be exposed. So after that we are giving a cmd, that is a command. So this command will be executed once our Docker container is up. So we can give only a single cmd command within a Docker file. Even if we give multiple, only the last one will be taken. So there is a similar command called entry point. The difference between entry point and cmd is that in case if you provide any command line arguments to a Docker file or a Docker container, in case we are using a cmd, those arguments will be overwriting this command which we give. But in case of entry point, they will be appended. So here what we have given is that we have given that once the container is up or container is started, we should run the command npm run start prod, which is provided in our package.json. So here if you go, you can see basically it starts executing our the main.js file within our dist folder using Node. So now let's build our backend image. So here I am going to the server folder and I am building the image using docker build -t, and I am giving the image name as server with the tag 1.0 and provide the current path of our Docker file. So our image has been built, and let us check whether the image is existing. Here you can see that the JS server image with the tag is already created. So now let's run our image. So I am using the docker run -rm to remove the container after execution, -ti to run it interactively. I am giving the port as 3000 :3000 so that the host and container ports are the same, and we are providing the name of the image, that is JS server, and the tag. So once we start up our Nest application, so here you can see that the Nest server is up. Now when we click on submit, our APIs are also working as expected and our application is working. In order to run our application, we needed a backend image as well as a front-end image, and we had to run them separately. So Docker provides another feature called Docker Compose, which can be used for combining all these methods. Like suppose you have multiple images, we can start them up using a single stroke. So here what we can do is we can create a docker compose.yml file, that's a YAML format, and inside that we can give the configurations required for running that or building the image and running the container. So this is the syntax. First we need to give a version, that is the version of the Docker Compose. So here I am giving as 3. After that we can define the services which needs to be started. So here first I am giving the service name as Angular, and here I am giving the name of the image. So whatever name which we created earlier, I have removed all those images. So if you check here, no images are present currently. So I am giving the same name which we gave earlier, and after that I am giving the build. So it basically I am giving the name of the folder in which the particular application is residing. So here I have given the Angular. So inside that our Docker file will be present. So after that we give the ports. So this is basically the -p option which we gave in our command line. You can give the host port and the container port. And similarly, we can give the details for the server. Server also, I have given the image name. The build, this will be the folder name of the folder in which the Docker file is present. And again, we give the ports. So that is all we need to give in our docker compose.yaml file. Now we can go to the folder in which the docker compose YAML is present, and we can run the command docker compose up. So first it tried to pull that images from the docker registry. Since it is not present, it is now trying to build the image, and then it will automatically start up the containers. So now you can see that both the images have been created. So if you do a docker images, you can see that the images have been created with the name or the details which we gave earlier. And if we go to our application and refresh, you can see that it is working as expected. So our containers are also running. So if you do a docker ps, you can see that two containers are running based on these images, along with the commands and all those things. The details of the port forwarding, everything is present here. You can see here. And in case you want to bring the containers down, you can run the docker compose down command. So it will be basically stopping both the containers, and we can check whether the containers are existing. So you can see that both the containers have been removed as well, but the images will be still present. And in case the next time you want to start up, you can just give the docker compose up. Since it has already built the images, it will be just creating the containers now, and our application should be up and running. So these are the steps which are needed for building, testing, and linting an Angular application along with a Nest.js backend using a Docker. Hope you were able to get some useful information from this video. See you soon. Thank you.